Hi, my name is Noé Piña. I am an artist from Los Angeles, California, Galeria Mexico, and very happy to be here exhibiting this work that has culminated through a 6-month residency for me, and it's culminated in this installation and these prints. So this installation is basically about balance. The weight and the pressure of the bricks is what's holding down the planks. So for example, these bricks here are holding down this plank so that this plank doesn't slide. These bricks are holding down this piece. So the idea is that the bricks are a metaphor for the pressure and the weight in our lives. So they're a metaphor for pressure and weight in our personal life and in systems, and either economical systems in our personal life, where without pressure we don't grow, we don't expand. So the idea that it's through the pressure that keeps us in balance. So the bricks are a metaphor of the pressure that keeps these pieces here in balance, and also keeps my life personally in balance through my personal experiences. I have only grown through moments of pressure. I think if we become too comfortable, usually there isn't any growth, right? So this is a metaphor of that pressure, again, which is in our personal life, but also in systems, so economic systems and political systems. So that without the pressures, without the weight, and without the balance, the pieces collapse. We collapse, the systems collapse, the economies collapse, as we are seeing right now in Ukraine, and as we have seen most recently in the 2007 Great Recession, where there was a huge global economic collapse. It's a contemplation of balance and the celebration of balance. The prints are made from actual pieces of wood that are just like this plank of wood here and that ladder, and the actual brick. So the wood and the brick work as the base for a relief print. So these are actual stamps of the brick, and these are the actual planks from other sculptural pieces that I have done. So this shows the collapse, or the process of the collapse in motion, ending with that final piece there, which is the crash. This is part of a series titled Precarious Systems, Sistemas Precarios. And the title of this piece is Precarious Angle. So I'm playing with the idea of precariousness in your personal life, in my personal life, precariousness in economic systems, and in governments. So just the whole idea of precariousness, and that without balance, things collapse. So in these prints, these are basically titled Precarious System 1, Precarious System 2, 3, and 4, and this one is titled Precarious System 4 Crash, right? So it's showing the actual collapse of the bricks. When I remove the bricks from the piece, the entire system or the entire sculpture collapses. So this is a form of me documenting that process and documenting the collapse of the piece. This piece, as many of my pieces, are made out of found objects. And it started back in LA through this residency where I was gravitating towards the materials of brick and wood, discarded wood. So behind my studio, there was a construction site, and I was very drawn to these wood planks and a ladder which is similar to this one, and of course the brick. So I started playing with it and trying to find a way to balance them, again as a metaphor for balance in our life and balance in systems. In preparing to have this show here in Mexico, obviously I wasn't able to I wouldn't be able to bring this on the airplane. So the gallery sourced these materials for me, and I think what's really interesting is that here in Mexico City, wood is a little scarce. So fortunately, they were able to find this piece, which was already made, which plays into the idea of the ready-made. And of course, this piece, which has actually been used in a construction site somewhere here in Mexico City. And these beautiful bricks, which are very different from the bricks in the United States or in LA. They are so orange, they are almost as orange as the paint that I use, which is not the color of the bricks that I was using back in my studio back in LA. So the materials here in Mexico, I think, are more rugged, they're more real, and they speak more directly to this type of work. So I feel very at home working in this style and working in this type of production here in Mexico City. Also because of the layering that I see in the city. So just walking around, you'll see stacked rocks, stacked pieces of concrete. And the city itself was founded on a lagoon, right? The idea, or a lake, the idea of it being stacked. And then of course, today I just visited the cathedral at the Zócalo, and you see the layering there of historical various peoples, let's say. So there's a layering in the city that's still continuing to happen. And that to me is very interesting, since I work with the idea of stacking. So I think we continue to rebuild as human beings, we continue to rebuild in our individual life, we continue to rebuild and stack, right? So we go to school, we go to the next grade, and then the next grade, and then we go get a job and get married, have children, right? But the idea, even if you don't go to school and have children, the idea is that there's always a progression of stacking in your life, right? So in Mexico City, we see this stacking where to me is very positive, it's very inspirational, because it basically means that people are not giving up. There's movement, there's motion. And to me, stacking is it's basically something that signifies balance. It creates balance. And again, without balance, there would be a collapse. Being in Mexico City, wherever I look, I really see that layering, that stacking of culture, of various ideas. And I think it's basically people, the people here being very positive, not giving up, right? They're very creative. I mean, Mexico City is just a very creative city, full of creativity and full of art and very surreal. So through this residency, towards the end, I was not going to be able to come to Mexico City to install this sculpture here. In working on instructions for the gallery on how to install this piece, I started working with a miniature, and that's how the idea of this art toy came about. So this is now an art toy, which is a miniature of the precarious angle you see here, part of the Precarious Systems series. And the bricks are made from terracotta. And it wants to fall now, see? So these are also available for the public to play with, and the idea is for them to have fun. And basically set it up in a way like this, almost like that game Jenga, is it called? Right? So the idea is to set it up, play with it, and then when it gets tricky is when you set these up, because these are basically being balanced by nails, which I thought was a good material that is intertwined with the other materials, because it's a material for construction. So, well, there, I was able to build it, but that's because I have practice. I was able to build it without dropping it. But let's say someone's hand is not as steady, or they get a little anxious, then they might do that, and the thing collapses. So the idea is to have fun. So these are going to be available here at the gallery for purchase, and this is a model that gallery guests can play with, and hopefully they all have fun. Now, Doesn't necessarily need to be in this shape. I mean, if someone wants to reshape it, we encourage that, and also we encourage the viewers or the owners of this art toy to take pictures, and we're going to have a QR code where they can share their own creation on the Instagram page. And my name is Noé Piña from Los Angeles, California. Very happy to be here at PRPG Gallery. I want to thank everyone for the support. Very happy to be here again in Mexico City. Very inspired to come back and create more and participate and in fact collaborate with more artists. The community here has been very, very, very hospitable. So I'm looking forward to being back. Thank you.